Hello, my friend. Guess what I'm gonna pick today? Today, I want to talk about how to pick your X. And it's actually quite simple because your X represents your core frequency, and your core frequency is what you came here to embody. So, without further ado, your core frequency is that frequency which lights you up the most, which feels closest to your heart. When you express it, it's just like you don't need anything else. It's literally all that you need. And in each moment, you have access to your core frequency. And this is scalable, but you can always pick, place your attention, choose, decide using your free will in which point of focus you feel the most connected to your inner self. So, for example, let's take a challenge that comes up in your life. So, you're feeling good, you're feeling well, but maybe, for example, you have to speak for a group of people, or you're feeling some social anxiety, or you have to tell someone something, and you know it might piss them off a little bit, or like it could trigger them in one way or another. So, in these moments, there's always an option to choose to get closer to your spirit and to be more confident and precise where you come from. But for that, you have to be aware within your consciousness where the easiest access point is. And so, what I always start with when I notice that I'm not feeling quite aligned with my X, with my inner core, with my true frequency that I want to radiate, I first let go. I give myself some space, some ease to come back to that 0 point of I am aware, I exist. And from that neutral 0 point, from that space where I'm in ease, then I can more clearly decide where is the next step to take, aka what is the next choice to decide upon. And then from that zero space, you can start to take steps, you can start to decide more consciously what X you want to pick, what vibration you want to pick, what angle you want to view reality from. And I sort of see this sometimes as like with your pickaxe, you're standing in your mind, and all right, maybe you was a little bit scattered and you weren't really like being precise, but okay, you recognize I want to stay true to my core frequency. I want to stay true to who I really am and what I came here to embody. This is the only thing that matters. All else is the waste of time. So you recognize that in a moment of clarity, and you're like, all right, let go of everything. Let's start with a clean slate. Ease. And you just let go. Maybe you take the 2 to 5 seconds to completely reset yourself back into the eternal awareness. And so when you feel fully anchored in that space again, then you can properly take a next step or deal with whatever you have to deal with. Doing a presentation, telling someone something that you think might trigger them off, you can do this from a place of integrity, from alignment. So from this zero space, this I am space, this center, we choose our X. And like I said, it's sort of like being in a mine and then choosing your X. So you went back to the neutral point and you're like, all right, let's get to work. And you pick your X. And then, all right, you take your time. You don't want to rush this. You don't want to go like, you want to like make it conscious, like take the next step. All right, this is what I decide. All right, next one. I am X. I am X. And this becomes a natural process in which you are much more easily can align yourself with your inner state. And this just becomes like a natural process. It becomes so intuitive. And of course, many times you might need to reset, come back to that 0 point. But the more often you do it, the greater it increases your skill and confidence and conviction that in any moment you can switch. So even in moments of anxiety, it feels like it's overwhelming you, you can switch and you can anchor yourself into your true IMX state and then just take the next step. Maybe you don't see the whole stairway, but that doesn't matter. You don't need to see the whole stairway, just take the next step and the next step. So this is my message for today. So you can get clear on what next step to take without worrying about like the whole staircase, but just picking your X. Picking as close as you can to your core frequency. Doesn't matter if it's just a millimeter closer, as long as you feel more at ease, more surrendered, more in line, more truthful, more aware. Every little inch counts. So don't stop this process, even if you feel like you're not making any progress. You could be right, you could be mining, and you could be right at that shiny diamond. You're like, nah, I give up. Don't give up. Stay true to your inner X and be your truest version of yourself to the best of your ability, and enjoy this process. Really, really, really enjoy this process. See you in the next one. Stay true.